It's time home spec inspections. Getting ready to do an inspection this morning here. 2407 East 110th Drive. Looks like a paired home. So anyway, this is an ASHI inspection. ASHI is the American Society of Home Inspectors. A copy of ASHI Standards of Practice is given with the home inspection contract and is the contract. The purpose of the inspection is to make sure you're not buying into any major electromechanical structural issues. Major stuff that a plumber, electrician, furnace guy, or structural engineer would pick up. Okay? And if we have issues with those 4 different systems or trades, then we have the electrician, the plumber, the furnace guy, the structural engineer, or the roofer, whoever it may be, the window person, to come out to further inspect to make sure that how much it costs to fix and repair. The reason for that is there's different ways, different opinions, different methods, different costs of how to fix the same exact problem. Okay? I'm going to start on the roof and work my way down. Oh, this is asphalt fiberglass architectural shingles, and this section here is pretty much it's worn out, as you can see. Well, hopefully you can see that there's no granules left. Okay, this is from excessive heat, and it's pretty rare for 2001. How old is that? 2001? Is that 15 years old?
2001, yeah.
So, yeah, usually they last about 20 years, but these guys didn't. So, yeah, these are gone. These are worn out over here too. I expect the top roof pretty much still looks the same. So what you need next is a roofer up here, give you a bid on this, and or see what the seller's going to do.
Yeah.
Okay, you won't be able to buy it because you won't get an insurance policy list for it. This is your AC condensate leaking here, and it's supposed to, okay? But you need to probably put a drain on here and get away from down to through here, leaking into the crawl space there. This retaining wall is going to lead over and fall over on you. So it needs repairs, I guess. Straighten it back up if you want. I use these binoculars to look at the roof up here. I can't really see as good. You probably need to get a roofer. I can't get up there. So this bottom row definitely needs, and the ones I can see, definitely need replacement. The top may be the same way. I can't really tell. You need to have a roofer go up there. I can't tell. You want to put his gutters up there. Those gutters, it constantly leaks on the roof and wears out the bottom shingles too. So you want to put gutters on the very top deck. And then you don't want your downspouts draining on the shingles. It wears them out. You want to bring your downspouts to grade. Probably put handrails here, even though it may not be code. I'd still put them probably right over here, or over here, just for you need them for snow and that.
I was looking at a house.
It's probably done without a permit. Definitely need handrails there. You may even need handrails around the outside, and you need handrails here. Now here's the scenario. If this does require a permit, and that depends on how high it is, the code cops can make you tear this thing out and do it right. See, okay, looking underneath the deck, you can see it wasn't done right, or I can see the little holes there. They don't have nails in the joist hangers, and it's also not flashed. The top ledger board up there, no flashing, so the water goes behind the board and rots out the lag bolt screws, and the whole deck fails. So this wasn't done with a permit, and if it does need a permit, they can make you tear it down and bring it up to the current code. Water is going to go right into crawl space every time it rains here. You got negative foundation grade, so you need to build this up and put a vapor barrier over this to get the water when it hits here. Goes away from the house, and you're going to have a lot of water here too, because it's going to hit the siding when the driving rain, and it's all going to come down here. Wow. This is amateur bozo to clown wiring here too. They put, you can't mix chases anyway. You can't put like a sprinkler wire and regular electrical in here, and this is not caulked or anything. You can't have wires on the outside like this. I don't know who did this. Okay, so you got some after builder electrical here. I don't see really any major issues here, but you need a permit to do all this, and this is definitely not cool what they did here with this wire here, so I don't know where it goes either. They must have done some remodeling here, it looks like to me, I guess.
Yep, they did.
You do some painting here. This is probably dripping down here. And anyway, you need to paint this side. It's wood fiber product. You need to paint it every 7 years, whether you like to or not.
Yeah.
Okay, down here in the crawl space. Good news is it appears to be pretty dry down here, which is pretty good. The crawl space isn't done right. The vapor barrier, see, it's all exposed dirt. To do this right, there's a company called Complete Basement Systems. And they'll come out here and put a proper vapor barrier over this. You do have some vegetation growing over there. That's usually from a little bit of water seeping in from that negative grade on that side. You need to correct the grade and put a proper vapor barrier in here. Probably insulate up underneath this floor if you want. And then this insulation, this fiberglass insulation, is not recommended for crawl spaces either. Okay. The other kind of a problem here is this is your main water shut off for the house is way over here. So you have to crawl down here to go over here and turn your main water off. And you see how they have all these pipes insulated here? This isn't done accidentally. This is probably because these pipes have frozen through the years. So the way to do this is either put some heat tape around all these pipes and plug it into somewhere, who knows where, and or heat the crawl space. Okay, that's how Complete Basement Systems does it. They'll encapsulate, close the crawl space vent, and actually heat and condition this spot, this whole space, just like livable space. That's the correct way of doing these crawl spaces. Then your pipes won't freeze, and then all the mold and mildew and all that stuff is pretty much mitigated like that. You see your sump pit down here. It looks like it's overflowed more than once. So I recommend you put a water alarm in here to make sure it's draining right, or actually working. Sometimes they work intermittently too. You can tell the sump pump's completely dry. I'd still put a water alarm down in here. So it certainly is overflowed, because it doesn't look like the water's coming from outside at all here. Okay. So I'd have Complete Basement Systems. They got a give you a bit on how to fix all this down here. Good news is I don't see any water leaking. We'll put your new washer in here, put it on a pan. These things tend to leak. It's going to ruin your house and ruin underneath your crawl space there. So put them on the pan. They have a pan with a drain.
Yeah.
And you want to change your washer hoses out to stainless steel mesh ones, so they don't leak. When they break, they will break. These rubber. Oh yeah, it's leaking out 110, 100 and some odd, leaking carbon monoxide out of the corner of your fireplace. Okay. So you need to get that probably looked at. Maybe leaking and sleeping, so I'd probably have a plumber clean this little nipple up. Make sure that the whole thing isn't all rusted out down there. This is an original hot water heater, so it's reaching the end of its life here. So you got water stains on your floor here. I think the AC may be newer, but the furnace is original. It's about, what, 15 years old or so. You see all the water stains. This is probably from a past water leak from the AC condensate line down here. You're going to have a lot of water leaks. It's hard to put a drip pan or drain pan underneath this when it's a downflow system. So you might want to put a water alarm in here. It should be cleaned and serviced for sure. It's a little bit dirty. And I'm going to check it for monoxide leaks here a little bit when I fire up the furnace. Yeah, I'm surprised the furnace is even running right with the, that's a major dirty furnace filter. So you need to put in the disposable ones, change them every month. You change these smoke detectors every other couple, 4, 5, 6 years. I just change them out. And you need CO detectors now too. Well, it looks like a patch stub here. It doesn't seem to be any more than cosmetic. So. Okay, up here in Ambati, this is your fluid pipe from your furnace / hot water here, if this thing would focus. I think coming down here and going sideways. And it's touching drywall there. Now this is a hot fluid pipe. And it's not really supposed to be touching any kind of combustibles like that. It's supposed to have an inch clearance from that drywall right there. That could be potential fire hazard actually, so you need to figure out how to separate that. Plus you got some long runs here. The flue, I'd have an HVAC guy look at this. See if you can get that separated there. Other than that, it looks pretty good up here. I don't see really any major issues. No water up here, so you're good. That's the conclusion of the inspection, 2407 East 110th Drive.